Okay. Everybody have a chance to look the bills over? Any questions? Do I hear a motion? It's working. I can see it right now. My voice, my green bar is working.
Yes. So,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Everybody have a chance to look. We had two sets of minutes, one for the public hearing on the budget. And we also had a regular board meeting from November 9th. Has everybody had a chance to look those two sets over? Any questions? Can I have a motion to accept both of them?
second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried. Okay, old business, Hemlock Ridge. Nothing's moving there yet. Little chit chats here and there. I had a phone conversation with the IDA. We're trying to get something rolling there. Bridget's been having a couple conversations with another attorney as well that's involved with it. But it's all a snail pace. I don't know why, but it is. RTO, they said that they're going to have antennas up on the water tower by the end of December. They haven't even approached Dale yet because they have to have him open up the gates so they can get into the water tower. So they have not started any kind of attachments of antennas on the water tower for their high-speed internet as of yet. Heritage Wind, Bridget, you wanted to make mention here?
Yeah, I just wanted to give an update that there's still no resolution as to the amount of intervenor funds that will ultimately be awarded for the application amendment. And that's the entire update.
New business. Verizon has approached us, came to the town. I've been on the phone with a gentleman a couple times now. And I believe it's precipitated from that letter from the ladies up on Alice Road, as well as the letter that we as a town put out to Verizon as well for better coverage. So they're looking at the town hall, our property right here, as being the center or the hub for the tower to go. Because of the height of the tower in the falls zone, I do not see how it's going to be able to go on our property right here, but I offered the town park. I also offered possibly up on top of the water tower where RTO is going. The park is out because what they did is, I believe it's a half-mile radius. So they put a compass in right on the town building, and they did a circle. So they're looking at all the properties that fall within that. The fire hall is just on the edge of that. So they said they didn't feel comfortable with the water tower, so I recommended, okay, how about on the fire property? And so I gave them Mr. Flansburgh's name and number, Ben Flansburgh, and told them to contact fire department to see about it possibly going there. But they are actively looking. Who I was talking with was an attorney hired by Verizon to check out the properties and make recommendations. I was hoping to have a report from them for tonight, but I'll have one by the end of the month. He said if you didn't get one to me tonight, he would have one to me by the end of the month. So we'll see what happens. We should have a Verizon tower going in somewhere right here close by that should improve. Those of us that have Verizon should improve our reception. Then the guys in the highway department don't have to step out in the parking lot all the time.
Who's the nearest tower?
You've got one on Hemlock Ridge and you got the other one is out there on East Berry Road. Two towers. And there's also a third tower right up in the northwest corner of town up there near the fairgrounds. Yeah, those are the three towers we have. I don't know exactly if what one's Verizon's.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Verizon on.
I don't think so.
The Sprint, I think it's Sprint or something like that, 'cause I thought, hey, with Sprint being that close, I would go with Sprint, and we had no reception. Because I think there's an umbrella or something.
Think so.
Reception.
That's why I switched from Verizon to AT&T and I picked up a couple. I don't know where they're located in town. So that's an update on the Verizon tower at this time. As I get more information, I will share it with you. I don't know where they might be considering being located. Okay, everybody received a copy of the budget line transfer for in the water districts. Do I hear a motion for the budget line transfer on water? We will have more at our end of the year meeting.
I move that we do this budget line transfer for the
Okay, second?
Second.
Dave, second. All in favor? She made the motion. I didn't even say aye. Opposed? So carried. Okay. Now, because of, we had signed a contract with Monroe last month that was based on 7 towns being involved. Monday night and Tuesday night, both Carlton and Gaines vote in favor, both of them with a 4-1 vote, of going with Monroe. What I am looking at right here is the replacement, the agreement with Monroe will replace the previous one. The reason being is the new one doesn't have Kendall's name in it. Where the other one said 7 towns, this one says 6 towns. There's no other changes that it's still $8,000 to us. The amount is the same to all 6 communities. Okay? So if basically the new contract doesn't have Kendall in the agreement. Yes.
Symbol. I know last month it was similar and said it was correct. Taking,
Instead of saying replace,
yes. It's
okay.
last month it only involved who we were putting on plan.
Yeah, yeah.
This should rescind.
Okay, so do I have a motion rescinding resolution number 86 from November 9th board meeting and accepting the Monroe ambulance contract as a replacement contract that contains minus the town of Kendall? So, second? All in favor? Carried?
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? So carried. Okay, I sent out to you the emergency water plan. And as I had said on it, we finally got this all cleaned up last night.
Yeah. Now we have to vote for it. We have to make, we've rescinded it, now we have to move the. sign
I
it.
made it as, you can't do it as one. Okay.
You and I are on the same.
Okay, I thought we were rescinding it, that's not.
I'll make it.
Everybody okay with that? Yeah. Sorry.
Right, this ends caught up with you.
I can't hear Maureen very well, just so.
I just thought we were just rescinding, but we were rescinding and replacing or making the motion together, and I'm good with that. Thought we had to have two things.
Okay. The emergency plan, RD, they did it last year, where they requested that we have an emergency water plan on hand. The original one we had, the only one we had before, was from 2007. Last year, we worked on it, upgraded it, because we had additional water districts since '07. So, but for some reason, I don't know why I had it down for our board meeting in January, but we never got to it. Well, anyways, we went through it again. Dale and Lee updated the names, because a few names and numbers have changed in there that have to be in there. And, so you got the newest, cleanest version of that. And it's just that, like I said, RD requires that be on file because we have all our water district loans through them. So all I'm looking for is, because they asked for us to have it, they want to know the board resolution number for it. So I'm looking for a motion accepting the Town of Berry emergency plan for water.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, sir.
Just clarification. Does New York State write up that plan, or who wrote the plan up? Like the, chlorine we use, the stuffs, is that a New York State policy, or?
Dale, did that come out of the water plant? That component? Dale? Oh, Dale. He does have Verizon. Okay. The question George just had, having to do with the water, emergency plan. He had asked about the amount of chlorine and so on and so forth.
The whole procedures, is that New York State that just kind of outlines that, or does that come from Columbus County, or is that? Who set the plan?
'07, neither one of us were here in
Right.
office at the time, so I don't know, and we just updated, modified it. I believe we contacted Adam Rush about it last year. You there, Dale, or did we lose you?
Yeah. So, yeah, I was just asking Dale that for clarification, for the plan that was presented, like, the amount of chlorine that needs to be done and time of flushing and the procedure step by step and all that. Was that done? Is that something that New York State set up? Is that something that? Okay. Looks like a bench. But that was my only question, clarification.
All good. We're gonna hang up with you then. Okay, Margaret makes the motion,
Second.
George seconds. All in favor? Carrie?
I did say aye, sorry.
Aye. Opposed? So carried then. As I pointed out in our workshop, we advertised, but we had nobody apply for the positions that are open as of the end of this year. one on the planning board and one on the zoning board of appeals. I spoke with Mr. Keeler for the planning board and Mr. Gaylord for the zoning board of appeals. They both said that they would be willing to continue. Now, we make the appointments at our organizational meeting in January. This was, what I'm looking for is that we are just accepting that they are willing to, for the reappointment of them in those positions.
I move that we accept the reappointment, so, to the Milestone Planning Board.
Dave seconds. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Next, I'd like to make a motion for advertising for a town attorney.
Can I ask a question on this? Because I'm still confused. I know that I said that we would look at whether or not we should, continue on with Bridget or not after a year, that it was only a year commitment. My question is, that was if people weren't happy, if there was a problem, if something was going on. So my question, to you, Sean, Margaret, or Dave, or Dad, do you guys feel that we should be doing this, or do you feel that she's done a good job and that we should continue on for another year? Again, this isn't saying it's gonna be forever. Lance was for 37 years without having, without putting out or advertising year after year. And I think that there's a significant difference between planning board and zoning board of appeals, which is a set term for this many years, and then you're up for reappointment, or you're, you can say, you're done and somebody else can come in. And, for town attorney, it's that we are hiring, and at any point, if we feel that she's not doing the job that we hired her to do, then we could have those discussions. But I'm wondering, I guess I'm wondering why we would advertise if we're happy with the services. If we're not happy with the services, I'd like to hear it, and let's advertise. So I guess that's where I'm putting it out there. I'm wondering what, Margaret, you said you motioned for this, so I guess I'd like to hear what your concerns are.
I'm not saying whether I am against or for our present attorney. What I am doing is that insofar as last January at the organizational meeting, when it was made very clear that no matter the position, an appointment is an appointment, and therefore it is up to the town board to make those appointments, and that they should be interviewed. And even when we talked about, just zoning board, planning board, whatever the appointment is, even if there was one person, it was made clear that, so what if there's one person, they should still be interviewed. That was the discussion that was made 12 months ago, 11 months ago. So as a result of that commitment that was made very clear, that's.
You're misinterpreting or miscuing that discussion and what that.
No, I think you don't remember what you had said at that time.
The way that I understood was that, we would discuss this at any year and decide if we wanted to, look for another lawyer. I feel that, we discussed it at the workshop, there wasn't a lot of, problems. So I don't see a reason to advertise and spend extra money and more money. But I don't, it's up to the board. But why spend the extra money? If, that's what we did.
But it was okay to spend the money for planning board and zoning board, of which nobody applied for whatsoever.
We're picking from our community. This is asking them if they would like to serve their community. the position that of attorney is not the same. And I don't understand, you know, if, like I said, Sean, if you are not happy and you want to spend the time and the finances of the town to do that, I am absolutely fine with that.
Carrie,
guess
it's
I
so
don't
funny how when
understand.
it's something you want, you don't mind spending the money. But now all of a sudden, it's a different story. You
No,
change,
I'm,
you change the rules as you
You
go
say-
along, Carrie.
no,
Yeah,
wait,
you do.
you don't want to continue to have Bridget as our attorney.
I did
Then
not say that. I'm
didn't say
going by
that
what you,
either. I did not say that either, Carrie.
So that's what we were discussing. January that we were gonna discuss and say, you know, should we be looking for? We had the workshop, we didn't, you know, we didn't come up with any reasons why, so I think we just move on and save the money. Open it up and look and
Well, if we're going to give, the people in the community the opportunity to, apply for a position, why are we not trying to keep our legal in our community, in our county?
I guess that I think that there's a significant difference between how do I say this? I just think that Sean, you're taking what I have said out of context and you're trying to, and if that's what you want, that's fine. But I don't understand that you're not giving me any reasoning as to why, and you're skewing what I've said.
I mean, if we went by that,
And we've said this at in the November meeting, we said this at the workshop. I really don't understand why you even had it on the agenda for today, other than you just want to try and entrap or be like, oh, I've got you, Carrie. I just don't understand what you're doing here. Unless you can explain and say, unless you're saying, in which case, then if you second it, I will vote that we advertise for a town attorney. But I don't understand why you're choosing to move forward with that. Why you would say that was appropriate.
I wouldn't, I mean, no, I wouldn't vote to advertise for another attorney unless we wanted to say, you know, like apples to apples. We opened up the zoning board or the planning board. Planning board is a 7-year option. Want to have, okay, in 7 years, we have to open it up. Because that's, no matter how good a job she's doing, we have to open it up for 7 years. I mean, it would be new. I mean, Lance is here 37. He never opened it up. So.
I think it's a little bit of a moot point, I mean, whether we're advertising or not, I think workshop, we pretty much have the sense that she was easy to work with. My big thing is looking down the road with renewable energies that we're gonna have in Barry and in Lowndes County, both wind and solar. I think it's really important to have somebody that has a background. It's gonna be the biggest thing that's gonna get buried for years. So I think it's really important at our workshop, there's really no negative, massive, oh my God, other than costs. But I would really want somebody, especially in the legal profession, to know what they're doing moving forward with wind and solar. Because it is such a big operation that's gonna happen with this town. If we wanna advertise, that's fine. It's sort of, to me, it's a new point, you can see if somebody else is out there, but I didn't really hear any massive negative comments about Bridget. She is easy to work with, she is very knowledgeable in studies, and whenever we asked her a question that she may not know right off the hand, she got back to us within a timely fashion to Sean, because he was the main contact, to get the information that he needed. Advertise just to say, hey, we opened it up. I don't see a problem in that, but I don't see me voting against Bridget for another term, because she did do everything that we have.
okay. Well, I had a motion. It was seconded by Margaret. If you
Wait, I heard Margaret make the motion. Are you seconding it?
No, Margaret seconded, didn't she?
No,
I-
she made
I
the
said I have a motion.
Oh. All right, so Margaret,
I made the motion, Margaret had seconded it. Second.
Is that, Maureen, is that what you had?
I didn't, but I do now. I had that Margaret made it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Margaret said, I make the motion. And then I asked a question, so there wasn't a second.
I believe I said, I make a motion to advertise for a town attorney. Okay, so let's get the confusion straightened out right now. What is the story with it? I'll make a second to it. If she made it, I'll make a second to it. How's that? Okay. All in favor? And I say aye. George?
No.
Carrie?
Yeah, I said that I'm really disappointed to not have heard any articulation of any reason why
Carrie, yes or no?
Margaret or Sean, that you have said that you want to do this, but because that you have, I believe that that's a statement that you don't think that Bridget is doing a job that,
You're assuming, dear.
so.
So is that a yes or
because
no?
See,
Carrie, yes or no?
yeah,
You vote for the advertising.
because because I am supporting. what
Okay, so we
you're
got
saying.
4 yeses.
I just-
Okay,
You feel that this is something that we should be doing, and so I'm supporting you in that.
next. Date for our organizational meeting. We have our workshop on the 6th. So it would be ideal probably so we can kill two birds with one stone to have an organizational meeting the same day at 6 p.m. and then immediately followed by our workshop. The 6th.
No, I have the.
I'm
third.
sorry,
Yeah,
not the
the
6th, the 3rd. The 3rd. I said the 6th, yeah,
That
the
makes sense.
6th, yeah, so.
Okay. So just to get it straight, organizational meeting, January 3rd at 6 PM, workshop out.
Yes. So is everybody in favor of that? Can I have a motion on that? Second,
Second.
all in favor? Opposed? So carried. The 3rd,
Tuesday.
it's Wednesday, I think. Yeah, because
No, it's a Tuesday.
No,
It's a
Tuesday.
it is a Tuesday. I do it, yeah. Okay. I've- Okay. Also to let you know that we've been doing a lot of final contract negotiations via phone, back and forth, and as of about 3 hours ago, it looks like we've got an agreement on our union contract with the highway, the MEOs. I would like to see if we could please have a special workshop to go over the contract and discuss it a week from tonight, the 21st, at 6 o'clock. Just so we could go over that contract, because it would be great if we could approve it this month so that we don't have to play games with retro paychecks and everything. 4 years ago was a headache with retro pay. So if we can go through it and we approve on our side, then we shouldn't have any problem, or I can make some last minute phone calls and see what we can do about modifying, but I would like you guys to have it in your hands I gave you, at the workshop, I gave everybody a copy of what we had. And I told you what the two stumbling blocks were. I will give you, I've asked for a synopsis of the gives and takes that I'll be receiving tomorrow. And I'll get that out to everybody. Remember, this is all confidential.
Are they gonna be redlined or anything with the changes were?
Well, that's why the synopsis back and forth, because things have been changed so much. It's gonna be difficult. I knew about the redlining. I knew someone was gonna ask. So I wanted to, that's why I asked for the synopsis. What they asked for, what we asked for, and what we've agreed on. Okay? So, we have a workshop next, Wednesday, the 21st at 6 PM.
What we gonna do?
Hopefully,
Is
I
that
have all the
what-
materials to you. I
That's
guess,
the only thing.
yes, 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 definitely.
And how does that work? Is it gonna be executive, like, session, or, 'cause it's not public, like, or is it just that it is, that we should do just discuss it openly?
I didn't quite understand what you're trying to say.
It's gonna be an executive session.
Well, it would be like an executive session, yes. If we were in a board meeting, it would be executive session. This is a workshop, so therefore we will be meeting privately, yes.
Eric,
Yeah,
you would open it as a workshop, but according to the state, a meeting is a meeting is a meeting. So we call it a workshop,
Right.
it doesn't matter to them. So with your open meetings law, you would still open it as a workshop and then adjourn into executive session.
okay. I just wanted to make sure it was not involved.
Yeah, no, that qualifies for executive session.
December 21st, at 6 or something.
Yes. Yeah, I know everybody works till 5:30. That way we still get out fairly early. Hopefully within 30 minutes. Gary, you available?
Yeah, I should be.
George? Margaret? I know it's tight for you.
We can get out of here in about 45 minutes, I'll go to the meeting.
Okay. Okay, then that's what we'll plan on is a workshop on the 21st, week from tonight, 6 PM. For the purpose of the, contract. Okay. Reports. Go ahead.
I set up a workshop that I wanted to, bring up about making a motion for the planning board to start an opinion, survey or whatever you wanna call it, of the town for various things. I have a whole list of things we should be going over that I'm not comfortable if something came up to the board without knowing how the town feels about it. So that's why so I can read these. I mean, I'm sure you can probably add another 10 or 15 to it.
Can we do that at the workshop?
No.
Not this coming, one.
No.
Not?
Want to take them?
Yeah.
You've got it all started up. Want us to take a look at it first?
I can read them off to you. You can get, the things that I put on here, is, people's opinions on the use of agricultural land for solar power. Industrial wind in the town with the industrial wind ordinance. The original ones, I'm happy with the savings, allow people to feel. Use of private land for solar wind. Ground heat sinks, should we have regulation for tiny homes? Should town taxes be used for the very park development or this maintenance? Should town planning and zoning boards have term limits? If you don't put your name into a position, would you support a local store and a Dollar General? Should we support low income households, reduce taxes?
Would you support the extra cost of announcements being placed in the attendance area? How important is having a reliable ambulance service? The longest response time. Are you in favor of justice consolidation in the county? Keep things the way it's going. Roadside snow removal is just maybe thought of enough. Thoughts on marijuana dispensary? What ideas have you got to do? What businesses should be interested in establishing in the area? Or would you like to see? Are you aware that the town has a webpage? Use it for information. How can it be improved? Do you support the installation of electric vehicle charging stations? Like, so. And I don't know, man,
So those are things that I think, so at this point, I would just kind of like to make a motion for the planning board to start, working on questions like this, putting together a survey for the town so that we know as a board how our town feels.
Do we really need to do a motion for that? You could type that out and submit it to the planning board that the town board is interested in them.
okay, so this, when I was on the.
I
planning
would-
board, I brought that
I
up and
would
they
like
said
to
they
see
won't make them, they wouldn't do that until the town board
Yeah.
tells them. So
Yeah. this
are
needs to
you
be done.
saying that we can just request them to do it and they'll start working on it?
I know that I, as a citizen, proposed a couple of things to the planning board and they worked on those items as a citizen, not as a board member.
Well, I was a planning board member and I asked to start working on this and they said not until the town board tells us.
Who was that?
The planning board, and
Yeah. I think that this is something that we should make a motion on, and that we should, send them this list and any additional, I think the noise ordinance should go on there.
I'm sure there's a lot of things. It would make our job easier to help the town feels on board.
And if it would be helpful for the planning board, I wouldn't mind drafting up an initial list of questions and utilizing those, if that would be helpful. If they'd rather just them do that, that's fine too.
And also for them to include other questions they may have too on different items.
Right.
It's sort of an open.
Yes.
But at a minimum to include all those items.
Yeah, her question.
Yeah.
600.
I think larger than that, and when you're talking tiny homes, it wouldn't be like a single wide trailer either, because we have an ordinance against single wide trailers, but what we, you're talking about maybe a patio home. Where somebody is downsizing, or a young couple just starting out, they can afford a living residence like that.
Is it about the size of what down, we put down? Down with the old. Fire department. Yeah, reform.
Did it?
They're fairly small, but they're nice. They look nice, they.
Oh, the ones on State Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really,
Yeah,
whatever. it is.
they're small ones. They're,
Smaller homes, but nice homes.
They're smaller than that.
It's what I've seen, it's my big decks. Probably call the technical department.
Yeah. We're not talking about the ones that you can hook up your car to and trailer off somewhere either. These are permanent homes that would be smaller square footage, which would be a good starter home or downsizing home. But not a mobile home. Well, double wides, yeah.
can't have wheels on it.
Right, no wheels, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
on a foundation.
So I'd like the planning board to work on listing things that we can, present to the town, get their opinion.
Make a motion, Jordan?
Yep, I move that we present this to the town. And to. Start the ball rolling.
I'll second this. Makes sense.
I would like, before it's submitted to the planning board, if I may include in there, I'd like to see a copy of it, because I might have a couple I'd like to add to it.
Oh, I think, yeah, I mean, we can continue to add on. what the plan-
Before it goes to the
And
planning
it's gonna,
board.
and, well, I get you, because I think that the survey or whatever they're sending out should come back to us, because we're the ones
Yeah.
footing the bill.
Right.
Send out, and we get, what's happening.
It would be ideal if you have like emergency calls.
I'm assuming getting the response back. Oh, we got, so we got some carrot to get them to, so maybe. Cause I know the last survey they did in 2013, the only response they got, they didn't get no response, and they ended up, at the, at the election, people were leaving, here, fill this up.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, I wanted to look him over again. I'm one of those that's got to look it over, read it over, and then as I'm reading something. Okay, reports, financial report. The town has at this present time 1.6 million in the bank. Total receipts. Expenses, general fund for the town. $646,362 compared to what the budget is, which is $161,589, or in other words, 97.7% of the annual budget. Highway is at 1,059,000 compared to the annual budget of 1,117,000. Or in other words, they're at 94.8% of the budget. Dale, anything special from you? Did we get a report from Dale? Yes, we did. Yep. Roadside mowing completed, equipment repairs completed, hot patching with Hot Box and Shelby and Berry. Park, the tiling contractor completed. In fact, the bill was just submitted like 2 days ago. We started our restoration, installed conduit from the meter panel to the transformer with wire, pull string installed for National Grid. Shared services with towns of Shelby, Clarendon, villages of Medina and Albion and Orleans County DPWs. Water service push completed on Hemlock Ridge Road. Snow and ice operations in full operation. That's the highway. Dale, if you're listening in, and I know you're listening in, Please see me tomorrow. I've got a phone message I want to share with you. From, National Grid. So please see me tomorrow about that. Green, your report. Okay. State, county, and local revenues was $653. Okay. The assessor, Stephanie is unable to be with us. She has taken ill this last week. And then as of today, on top of that illness, she got hit with another one. So she's down and out for the time being. I won't see her for about another 2 weeks, but she's been in here and very diligent. It took her a little while to get hooked up with the county. But now she's on the countywide system as well and moving right along. Shelley, I don't think, did anybody get a report from Shelley? She's been out of town. Yep. Speak up, please. I'm glad you speak up so much louder. Maureen said taxes have been received and they're putting them together to put them in the mail. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's right, that was canceled Monday night. Zoning board had no meeting, right, Carrie?
Right.
Park, Dave, have they had a meeting recently since the last board meeting? Anything else going on besides the tiling that we just had completed?
Pretty much just what, Dale's been doing. Slowest time to do it.
Mhm. When's the next park meeting? Because of the holidays. And they're working on a long range plan, right?
We do. Some thoughts about walking trails and moving the playground.
And I do believe the BBC has moved along insofar as new park, gym set, playground set. Okay, sorry.
I said I wasn't at that particular meeting, but I did hear that they voted on something.
Okay. Utilities, George, anything with the,
No.
EVs at all? Have you gotten any word back on any of that stuff or grants for EVs? That's a discussion that Dale and I had today, that based on the way HOCO is going right here, that our trucks will have to be 100% electric. And it's like, how the heck, especially this time of the year, are they gonna be able to operate? They'll spend half the day just sitting in there getting recharged. So I really don't know what's going on. I got a message from a friend of mine who they have a Chevy Volt. And with 70,000 miles on it, the batteries had to be replaced, $30,000. They had the batteries replaced. They had the picture, sent the picture of what the cost was, the mechanics cost. So, you imagine what it's gonna cost for one of these big trucks? The batteries that's gonna have to be installed in that, and then they're not gonna be able to carry as much load because they have a maximum weight capacity. Those batteries take up a lot of weight. I don't know where we're going.
Well, I'll give a shout out for that hybrid camera. And I wish I would have purchased it, it would have been able to use it.
Hybrids I have no problems with, 100% electric, I do it. We had a hybrid.
50 miles a gallon.
We had a hybrid and it was great as well. Just couldn't do anything with it except drive from point A to point B. And I couldn't train horses with it. But, yeah, hybrids, I have no problem with it. It's pure electric. I don't want to be caught in a snowstorm on the thruway. Okay. Off the soapbox. Bridget, you got anything for us?
I do not, other than I hope you all have a very happy holiday season.
Thank you.
Yeah, you too. As you see at the bottom there, our end of the year board meeting is December 29th at 7 PM. Our next town board workshop is January 3rd at 6:30. Our organizational meeting will be January 3rd. I purposely left a space in there until we approved it tonight, so it's the 3rd, 2023 at 6 PM. And our next board meeting will be January 11th, 2023 at 7 PM. Okay,
Yes, these two are the other way around. Organizational is first. Okay, yes, I saw it as I went in. And what you're gonna be doing is adjourning this meeting tonight? Not, you're not closing this meeting. So
the meeting remains open.
you adjourn it.
Okay, we adjourn this meeting
We will be reconvening.
on the
December
29th,
at 7.
so the books are staying open. We still have to, at our workshop, sit down, look it all over, digest it. I have a couple concerns with it, and I know a few other members do as well. So we gotta take a look at it and work on it and work with our attorney on it as well. I believe she has a couple of concerns with what was passed on to us. So, the planning board finished what their recommendations were, sent it back to us. Now, we've separately have looked at it. And, we gotta, at our workshop, which will probably be one of the agenda items in January at our workshop then. I don't have it in front of me. I couldn't say right now. You know, I'm not gonna say something when I don't have the facts right in front of me. So,
So, it had to do with language and whether or not it was sufficiently specific, that's all.
specifics.
Whether it was specific enough. Because if it's vague, then the statute could be struck down as void for vagueness. Yes. Yeah, I looked at it and I made comments, and I expect there will be more comments after the board has had a chance to talk about it and make its own suggestions about things to be included or excluded, as the case may be.
Yes. Okay, do I hear a motion for the town board organizational meeting on January 3rd, 2023 at 6 PM?
We made that motion.
Yep, sorry, we did.
That's what I
It was
thought,
on
but
another page. Why are you putting it on here again then?
because I wanted a specific date. I wanted a date approved. But, you know,
Yeah, I know, it's you put them all together in one order.
this is just so everybody knows what's coming up.
Oh,
And we have the union workshop on the 21st.
21st, week from tonight, 6 PM. Okay?
That would
special board, it's called for a special. I would,
I don't know.
Okay, on a special workshop for next week, on the 21st, at 6 PM. Do I hear a motion on it?
So moved.
David, with Carrie seconding it. All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
right, but then we never, yes. Everybody- a special board, that.
21st. Seven, what's teacher? Are you sure?
Who are afraid?
Shh. Okay. Anything else for the good of the order, folks? Okay, other than wishing everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. May I have a motion to adjourn for tonight?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Right, Brendan.
Good night.
Everybody want to turn their microphones on, please? I will